Hey everyone, welcome back. Been a while, guys. Give or take 2 weeks, to be honest. Those of you that are not following the London City Walks Instagram probably missed the updates. I hadn't vanished completely and entirely for the past 2 weeks. I did post some updates. I got in a lot of trouble actually for one post. I did post a little clip of Jack Nicholson breaking into the bathroom from The Shining, and that was a mistake, folks, because I posted it before I was able to come back, and I really upset my girlfriend as well. She said to me, look, you know, I can live with you doing some things prematurely, but not everything prematurely. Fair point, I guess, to be honest. Wait, guys, I didn't realise, are these North Korean troops headed to Russia? It certainly looks like it, doesn't it? Oh, yep, definitely. That one's undercover special forces there, 100%. Anyway, so we're back. Interesting enough, 1 minute before 11 a.m. What a lovely sound. And right on time. Trump is calling just to make sure his press secretary has got everything ready for the inauguration in a few days. She's like, yes, Donald, it's ready. Yes, yeah. I'm still not sure whether we should pardon Hunter. Oh wait, that's already been done. Okay, here we go, guys. Let's hope the phone box doesn't fall backwards onto the government building. Could be a diplomatic incident. Still enjoying those bongs. I mean, I enjoyed a couple of bongs while I was on holiday, but none as magnificent as that. Wow. How splendid is that? I had no idea actually that the chap tolling the bell knew it was my birthday today. But then again, that could be because it's not actually my birthday today. Now, one very interesting thing, folks. Actually, back to the Instagram point. Yes, folks, there are nearly 100,000 of you following the YouTube channel, which means about 95% of you are not getting the status and other updates. For example, if I'm away, I will make some posts on Instagram, either where I am, what I'm doing, or to let you know what's happening, folks. So it's really important, guys, that you follow the Instagram. Plus, I think most people have Insta these days, to be fair. And anyway, there it is. Look there, everybody. Look, that is the Insta. Hopefully that's clear. London City Walks with an underscore at the end. That's the Instagram. So guys, follow it, smash it up. That way you'll know what's happening, and you won't have to worry about my terrible jokes about being premature, about retiring, about final videos, etc, etc. Now, I trust you are all well, and guys, I must say, you did a splendid job of watching the older videos, commenting on the older videos, and still keeping the channel alive and viral in some respects while I was away. I was very surprised. Very surprised. But I see it as a huge positive, to be honest, I really do. Now, one very cute and funny thing, guys. I got a message from the head teacher of a Frenchy school. And that teacher messaged me to say that her and her students' image rights had been breached by me by filming. Now, the interesting thing was, she did open the email by saying blah 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 blah, when we visited blah 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 blah, one of our students made a stupid mistake. In other words, she at least recognised that there was a stupid mistake made. The trouble is, she then goes on to carry on about, you know, image rights and copyright and all this sort of nonsense, none of which is valid because I've got it front, because we're not in the EU. I don't understand how the Frenchies don't get it. Anyway, I should have realised because at the end it was signed, the email was signed Madame Puronas, which did surprise me. She left out her Christian name, but I mean, it's definitely going to be something like Up or whatever, isn't it? 100%. So, Madame Puronas, EU law doesn't apply here in magnificently sovereign, independent, for the moment anyway, Great Britain. So there we are. But thank you for admitting anyway that one of your students did make a stupid mistake. It was funny enough, most people tend to go on about, oh, you know, we didn't do anything, we were respectful, we didn't mock the guard, we didn't laugh at the guard, we didn't take the proverbial you know what. Very quiet here today. Look, there are no tourists, folks, at all. Lots of police as usual, but not a single tourist outside Downing Street. We have had 110, so I wasn't sure if that was 1,100. 110 days of hunger strike. It's funny actually, I was thinking to myself the other day, it's been a long time since I polished off Big Mac. I didn't realise it had been 110 days though. Gosh, I need to check my my Mackie D's app and see whether there are any rewards waiting. You know, folks, having been away for a couple of weeks, I've only got about 74p in my bank account, which is unfortunate, but hey, you know, beggars can't be choosers. There we are. Now, what are we expecting this morning? Good Lord. I don't even know where to begin, folks, to be serious. I really don't. I had an absolute avalanche of messages and emails as well. Not just from all of you lovely viewers, but thank you also to the troopers that reached out with concerns about their individual image rights. And yes, they do have image rights, folks. Under UK law, there is an element of image right, but it's limited. And you need to use very specific legal terminology if you're going to go that route and know how the system works. I was going to say how to manipulate it, but that's not quite the right word. How to finesse it, shall we say, to make sure that others will adhere to your wish. For example, not to have yourself or your family or other people published and blasted across social media, which on the one hand is fair, on the other hand isn't. Why do I say it's fair and it isn't? Well, it's fair in the respect that if you do sometimes prefer to keep things away from the public eye, you should be allowed to keep things away from the public eye. That's the way that I see it. However, there's also the issue that if something you would like to keep away from the public eye is exhibited in a public place, it complicates matters. Okay? Anyway, so we know it was 11. Here it is. We have the lifeguards, but, and unless my aged memory is failing me somewhat, as far as I'm aware, they're leaving this morning. Now, I say as far as I'm aware, I'm reasonably certain. Just spotted the old trooper in the yard, doing his usual sterling work. So let's head in, see what else is going on, ladies and gents. Somebody said that the MOD had all changed over, but they haven't. Nope, I'm seeing a lot of very familiar faces, actually. A lot of very familiar faces. Both at the front gate and at the entrance to the tunnel. The chain is down for this particular trooper, our Chitsman, so we know he's off at some point soon. And on the other side, our gatesman, in fact our two gatesmen, retired gatesman and currently serving gatesman. I just heard a I think the horse said, that annoying YouTuber is back. I guess it's quite complicated when you arrive here from France, having driven on the other side, and when the police say, you know, tournez à droite, and you decide, you know what, I'm not having you calling me a twat, I'm going to tourner à gauche. Yeah, it gets a bit complicated. However, they figured out in the end, hand signals always tend to work better, I think, in these situations. Now, I don't exactly know how long it's going to be before we get the troopers coming through. However, one thing I think would be a good idea is to have a little wander. Simply because, folks, we haven't wandered in a fair while, have we? No, we haven't. Right, we've got one group lined up, lifeguards, on the right. We've got the second group on the left. Now, I'm very interested to see who we're going to get. I do know, from having spoken with many of the troopers over the break, that there are a number of new faces, with already in the regiment and up and coming. Now, I don't know how many of those new faces might be here today. There might be none. In fact, half the group might be new. Only one way we're going to find out by patiently waiting. However, lest we forget, these are the secondary groups. The first group would have gone through already, and the boxmen are going to be replaced very soon. So we're not going to hang about at the back. I know what you're thinking. John, is Ormond there? Folks, I have no idea whether Ormond has been sold to Loctite or what is going on. Let's get ourselves back to the front and focus on who might or might not be about. Oh, 1 second, we've got 2 old troopers in the yard. Hey, morning, all right? Holidays. I'm just saying in the video, 2 old troopers together in the yard. I think that's a pretty apt summary. I mean, you are a trooper in some respects. Been quiet here. Guys, quiet in the last couple of weeks?
It's been quite a lot better than the beginning of January. You weren't here in the beginning of January. No,
I haven't been here since, I don't actually remember, 2 weeks give or take roughly, yeah, so just after Christmas. Oh, of course he's having a bit of a moment.
Been doing it yesterday.
That's so good.
My friends are out there.
Are they at the back?
My friends are out there.
Ah, I think that's what it is, isn't it? He's a bit like, you know what, I don't want to wait here by myself. He's a sociable horse, this one. So much better, sort of more manageable numbers. And
It's a lot better now, yeah.
this is good, but it's not going to last, is it? I mean, it's closer we get to Easter.
February, yeah, Easter.
Yep.
Well, sometimes I have to shut the gate when they can.
Yeah.
Is it getting that bad these days? They actually are pulling the gates
Someone told
closed.
me they might be going back. The police told me that they might be doing changing of the guard once a week.
Oh, really?
I don't know yet. I haven't. It didn't come out of my mouth.
It's interesting you told me that, because I was told by someone in the regiment that a guest regiment is going to be here at least twice this coming year. So I wonder if they are going to change it to weekly as opposed to tri-weekly.
I know footguards.
Yeah?
Well,
I think Windsor, they're
they do it weekly. They're going to change in the morning. They're going to change the guard. What's out in the guard room out there to inspect them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which means they shut the gates and you can't come in.
Yeah, so they'll be doing that once. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I guess if it's a matter of managing numbers.
I don't know about these ones. It might even be these ones. But I heard the footguard. I hope you're not videoing this.
Of course I am. It's going ahead. We're not on it though. You're not on. We're just having a chat. We're not talking about anything like.
No. Sometimes you do, because I've been told.
What, with you? Never.
No, when you feel that you haven't done it still when we're talking.
Oh, always. No, but I've said to you before. Every time that I'm here, I'm filming. You're not on the camera.
You're filming, yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it's always switched on. Never assume it's off ever, unless I say so. I'm not here to like kind of catch you out. I'm having a chat with you. We're on the camera
I
together.
know, but that's what I'm told.
No, but you've known me a long time, and you know it's always on when I'm here.
I know. Yeah.
So I've been told as well, yes, I agree with you that it's likely that something will change, but I just hope it's not going to be with the gate being closed here more often.
I haven't heard anything about it. I've heard something about that.
But it's great though that the numbers are a little bit more manageable here, I think, because it was getting out of hand there. Easter's going to be bad.
Wait till Easter comes.
Okay.
School holidays are coming up.
Yeah, half term first, and then Easter holiday.
In February.
Yep. Yeah.
And then after that, then it's Easter.
And then it's the fun of another beautiful summer. Yeah, it will.
Because you've got the bank holidays.
But you're right though, yeah. Things seem a bit chipper and back to normal.
It's fine now, mate.
That is what matters.
Only my toes, but they're going to get them sorted.
I've noticed that with the extremities a little bit. What, getting cold, like on the toes and
Yeah, my
fingers?
fingers.
Oh, they actually pick you up. I mean, you should have your own seat. Reserved seat. Okay, folks. Right, Colin wasn't sure then. He thought I was actually videoing myself and his face in a video, but no, I explained it as you heard, and it's all good. Okay, so back to the front. I don't know what we can expect, honestly, in terms of numbers. I've got no clue. The front is kind of sparse. The numbers at the back are kind of reasonable. Who have we got in this box? Aha, another familiar face, folks. He won't be there for much longer, not because he's about to leave the regiment, quit, set up a private security company to work in Gambia, but because the Blues are here, and they'll be up next. So that's number one. Of course, he looks happy as well, exceptionally so. Oh, this lady is saying to her mother or a friend, you can't touch it. It's quite an interesting eccentric image, actually, on the first day back. Bunch of luggage working its way along Whitehall already. Very nippy here today though, people. Temperature's about 5-6 degrees. So if I'm just standing right in front of the horse filming, as they just saw, then I'm not exactly sure why. Thanks, girls. they ducked, very polite English girls, of course. I don't understand why he's like stand right there, right in front of that guy who's already standing right there. But hey, it is what it is. So, to the other end. Let's see. I'm thinking it's 11:15, so I mean imminently we should expect the Blues. There it is, 15:15. I was going to say we should expect the Blues to take over. Now I'm wondering actually, I can't remember, it's been too long, whether or not the gatesman who's going to be relieved shortly is going to leave his post for the 15-minute march to the front. Instinctively I would think not, because if the horses are going to change over, it's going to be a little bit like oops. Actually, I think it's a pro photo shoot, in fact, because I noticed there was one photographer, and now there's a second photographer. I'm not sure why on earth you wish your good health in weather like this. If the photographer comes this way, I'll ask him. 'Cause it's really, really, really chilly, guys, to be only half dressed, I must say. Like, she's actually already coughing. Just get me the hell out of here. Anyone thinks a model gig is a sweet and easy deal, guys, take a look at this, because it really is not a sweet and easy deal. I'll leave them to it. She's looking a bit red-faced, and it's not really surprising because it is pretty chilly. Skittish horse. I don't understand all these like girls that come over with the photographers to do the Instagram shoots when it's flipping like about 0.
Yeah.
Half dressed, runny nose,
No.
sniffing and stuff. It's just.
She's got a cold, isn't she?
Yeah, she's definitely sick, bless her.
Hanging out, isn't she?
Yep. Right, one school group, guys, over there, which we'll actively try to ignore. And here are, at least for me personally, the first Blues were Colin saying to me, get back behind the barrier. I was a bit forward. Oh, she's now got told to move back as well. Okay, so let's see what's happening next.
Josh, you have cold ticks soon, isn't she?
Say again?
You have cold ticks soon, isn't she?
I mean, that's just like, yep. Oh, so let's wheel a metal trolley along. Somebody I think just stole it from the hospital. Just wheeling a metal trolley on the front of horse guards. Good way to make the horse even more nervous than he already is. Right, who have we got, folks? I'm wondering. Some gent behind me has been told to stay back, being a bit presumptuous vis-a-vis the bollards. I'm now away. Collie's very cheeky, but I like that. It made me laugh because now I'm behind the bollard. Right. Here we go. Now we know we're back, truly back.
Morning. Good morning.
Oh, good morning. How about that? They never say good morning. The only people that ever say good morning to are from either Australia or New Zealand.
Well, I'm Australian.
You're joking.
That's why.
Oh, there we go. That's what it is, isn't it? I've never seen that except at the palace. Yeah. Wow. How's about that, eh, folks? That made your morning, didn't it? Yeah. To be honest, it made mine. What a lovely thing to see. I would have maybe expected that on the first day back of a new year, but to actually say good morning to the tourists, what a thoroughly lovely fellow, eh, to do that. And you can see the look, the smile on their face, the joy on their face that they'd been given a pleasant good morning greeting. Wait. Right, here we are, back. Who have we got? Oh, Hold on a second. Ho, ho, ho. Horsey's looking extremely chipper this morning, aren't you? Yeah. He definitely is. I will make sure, folks, that I'm as suitably positioned as I can in the yard for when the second group of blues come through, because I'm very curious to see not only whether there are any new horses, but if there aren't any new horses, which horses are coming through regardless. They're just changing over the chitsmen and the gatesmen. Massive school group got into the yard, so I'm not going to follow them in for the moment. Bro here. This post is sponsored by Givon Sheep. Everybody. Not sure exactly what he's reaching for. Oh. Here comes Jogger Bro. Yeah. Oh. A little salute. Isn't that kind of sweet? Still continuing with the changeover of the foot guards in the yard. The tourists are actually loving this. Everybody's sort of frozen here actually watching that chap giving the salute. Is he do it again? I bet I'll do it the second I turn the camera. Wait, let's get further back. Who's up next? That's actually probably the best place to stand because you get the entire signage. Oh.
Thank you.
That scared them. They thought they'd be... They thought that oh, hold on a second. Bro's got an earpiece. Oh, and he heard me and looked back as well. Now that's interesting. I'm tempted to talk to him, but that would be a bit kind of... Nah, let's not. He's at work, regardless of who he's protecting or what he's doing. I'm not going to put him on the camera either, because whatever he's doing is... Oh, actually, I see what he's doing. Okay. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Let's just say that he doesn't need to be on the camera. Very, very subtle, actually, that. Anyway, they finished in the yard. That's all done, complete. But there is a massive, massive school group of kids, which, to be fair, have probably come quite a way to see this. So you know what? Let them enjoy the spectacle inside the gate. We will see it another day, folks. There was no shout, nobody got told to move, nobody got pushed out the way, etc. by the guard. That was just a very loud series of verbal commands in a very good way. Okay, so first hand. Oh, sorry. Almost walked into someone. Oh, hold on a second, everybody. One of my favourite lady troopers is back at this end and looking extremely serious. In fact, even our horse is looking extremely serious. He's like, dude, why are you not telling the viewers my name? Did you forget it? Possibly. Right, here we go. Oh, that's interesting. It's a damn shame that that it's so busy at the gate. 1 second. It might actually be too busy at the gate, to be fair. Wow. I was wondering if there was going to be more of a flood out, but then again, I just thought it's a little bit too early, isn't it, for us to be expecting everybody from the palace. So we'll stay at the front. We'll focus on the two horses and also this quite considerable group that just arrived. Let's go right the way around them and get ourselves back just off centre carefully. Oh, did it? Oh, God. Saluting Bro is back on the right. Okay, I wasn't sure whether it was a Korean or Chinese group, but it is a Chinese group. Oh, this is a Chinese group, am I right? Yes, great, perfect. Thank you very much. So I just need to learn how to say welcome to London in Mandarin. Liking this Blues black and white Union flag scarf on the right, very swish. Okay, who's next? Ta-da! A lot of happy faces this morning, in fact, here with the tourists.
还有吗？没有，老师，你站电梯，我帮你照。老师，弟弟，来，你站电梯，我帮你照，我帮你照。后晚走不了。
He's saying if any of you get shouted at by the guard and cause a diplomatic incident, you're going to be sent to a Uyghur internment camp in the north. They are really enthusiastic actually, this group. They're absolutely loving what they've seen here. And interestingly enough, they were looking at me while I was saying that, which is great because they were listening intently to me speaking in English. Because obviously, unfortunately for me, I can't speak Mandarin or indeed Cantonese. Little builder bro over there in the high vis. Kind of sweet in a way, to be honest. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave the horse issue in inverted commas to you guys. And what I have just seen at the other end, moved way back, is the other trooper also telling somebody, a lady, adult lady in a white coat to get out of the box. Now that's curious because one thing I do know. Actually, wait, should I? Yeah, it's alright because it's been talked about quite widely. One thing I do know is that we speculated, didn't we, quite widely before Christmas, in the period when the new and final version of the sign went up and the white lines were painted, etc., and everything changed. We did speculate for some time as to the reason why some troopers would be massively verbal, massively on it, massively enforcing the box without exception. Okay, including even shouting at kids to get out of the box, blah, blah, blah. And why others were, I was going to say blasé, but I mean, I guess that's not really fair. They weren't blasé, they were, should we say, a little bit more laid back about enforcement. And I can confirm, folks, that the troopers were instructed that they can, if they wish, enforce the white line. Okay? In other words, if they don't, they're not going to get told off. There's not going to be a disciplinary, etc., etc. So everyone that was, and a few of us, I say a few of us, the more regular contributors did mention that, hey, guys, we can't jump to conclusions here before we know exactly the nature of the orders that were given. Fair point, eh? So now we do know. Okay, that is what they were told. You can enforce if you would like to enforce the white lines. Okay. Meanwhile, perfect timing actually. Look at this. Out they go. The lineup, which is good because it means that next up will be the Blues and Royals coming in, which I'm going to zoom forward for in a second over on the left, because that ideally is what we'd like to see, is it not? Yes, the Blues coming back through. Horses are pretty chill, except for the one that was in the box at the beginning. Pretty chill. Pretty chill. Okay, look at who we've got. Now, interestingly enough, from this spot, i.e. pretty much equidistant between the two foot guards, it almost could be the fact that we've got twin brothers. We haven't, but they look super similar. In fact, similar height, very slim guards on both sides, actually. We'll worry about that a little later. I'm not going to go over and stick the camera in their face, and more importantly, I'm only going to approach the archways and or film the troopers if it means that there are tourists in front taking pictures and so on. In other words, it just seems a little bit better to do it that way, you know. Nothing's changed, guys. Nobody's told me to do it that way. Nobody's even suggested that I do it that way. I should also emphasize at this point that there are no issues with the channel, never have been issues with the channel, no restrictions, bans, warnings, strikes, all of that rubbish. Somebody thought they'd be smart and try and get a couple, but YouTube just laughed at it and said that is not an issue, which is good. In other words, we're in full health, and probably by this time next week we will have hit the 90k mark, guys, so it'll be that little final sprint not into the tunnel, but towards that elusive 100k and beyond. It's a good milestone. I think all of you know that numbers per se don't concern me, but I think that anybody that makes it to that number can stop ever worrying about other numbers. Come on, Blues, where are you? I'm waiting for you to come through. This will be our last, unless something happens, i.e. tour groups, etc., bothering the guards, this will be our last moment in the yard this morning, until somebody gets in the guard's face for pictures or otherwise, in other words, we'll focus on the horses. It's highly likely, but I'll keep it on the time, that will go over our usual time slot for this morning's video. For two reasons. One, I think you can tell I'm pretty happy to be back, and two, we don't want to miss anything realistically between now the next changeover, i.e. the main changeover when it happens. Ideally, okay, I can't promise, but ideally. Right, that finally, Mr. Red Trousers and Barber Code should equal the second group of Blues arriving. Now the interesting thing is, wait, hold on a second, he is actually, the gatesman is actually going to leave. Now that's curious to me. Oh, flip, just as a massive group of Chinese students are coming through. I like the way the guard looked back at them, kind of like, you know what, get out of my way, sunshine. He's got a very authoritative posture and walk as well, this fellow, massively so. Okay, that's interesting. I was expecting it would be a bit like my evenings after dark, folks. A very quick in out, and then it's all done with. But no, it's not. And the reason it's not is that he's checking on his collie, he's checking on the stirrup, he's checking on the horse. It's fun actually, guys, as well, because no matter how much I polish it, and I do polish it a lot, my helmet is never that shiny. Then again, that's probably because it's for riding a motorcycle and not for protecting His Majesty the King. Oh, Goth Bro on the left is determined to get him accidentally in the guard's way. Right, here they come, the second group of Blues that we were waiting for. Who have we got, folks? First trooper, familiar face. Second trooper, familiar face. Third trooper, semi-familiar face. Fourth trooper, oh, ho ho ho, Tashman is back, folks. Second Tashman, familiar face. This trooper, not entirely sure. And Lance Corporal of Horse, I believe, from the two chevrons. Now, interesting enough, the morning tour guide has brought his group to the corner for the dismount. One small problem, there is no dismount this morning. But everyone's starting to flow, ebb, flow. So, everyone coming this way toward us, and at the same time, some people coming through the yard to escape through the back and the parade ground. Right. It's a real tough call, to be quite honest with you. Both of these troopers are very, very, very experienced. In particular, the gent trooper behind me, who is extremely experienced. What I'm thinking actually is, as we've seen this particular lady trooper telling one person to get out of the box already, we know her approach this morning is enforcement. So I'm a little bit like that. It's a tough one, people. Not only that, we've only got 25 minutes to split between the two troopers before they change over. Grrr.
Did you want a picture of the horses?
Just thinking of today's picture of the day.
And it says, do not touch your pets. You may get bit.
I don't know why, but instinctively something's telling me this end. I don't know why. But I do want to get a picture of this end anyway, because I do like very much the look of this horse. And more importantly, as I said, the trooper is very experienced. Okay, so here we are. Bam, at the front, bomb. Right, let's see if we can get our picture of the day, and then if no one comes up, we'll head back to the room. I was going to do that before, folks, but then the horses arrived. Wait, what? I'm not even sure if I actually took the picture. Wait, did I? I did take the picture, in fact, just as as the trooper was telling him not to touch his horse. I thought you were ex-guard for a second. No?
Yes, I was.
Oh, you were?
I used to do this, yeah.
Oh, wait, so in your day, were people really
In the
touching
1970s I did this, and now they're boys. Their mums probably clean their kit for them.
Oh, that's a bit harsh. Come on, I mean... Well, how old was he when you joined? Wait, is he with you ladies, or he just...
Yeah.
Oh. So why is he so angry about whether the soldiers are young or old or whatever? I mean, they're doing the same job, aren't they? Defending the country. Wait, you do know that in the afternoons, after 2 p.m, they have the seniors in the regiment. All of the guards that are over 65 and retired, they're on the horses in the afternoons. Yeah? Yeah? So come back then, you might be a bit more...
No, I'm sorry. I'll tell you a picture.
No, come on, of course you're entitled to your opinion, but at the same time, they're doing the same job that you did, aren't they? Am I right? Same training, same kit, same tourist idiots to deal with?
No, it's changed a hell of a lot. They have a lot of an easier time today. I came here last night.
Yeah.
The gates used to be open till 10 p.m.
Were they really?
I spoke to
wow.
these finish at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
They're the best turned out men of the day. When
Yeah.
they're inspected at High Park Barracks, these two and the other two are the best turned out men of the day in their kit.
Oh,
They
wait,
get
wait, you know they changed. They changed the rules. They're not anymore. They're not putting the boxmen in based on the kit rule. Now they're rotating the boxmen between the chitsmen and the gatesmen. Yeah. It's now even the evens.
There used to be 4. There used to be a guy standing here on foot.
The gatesman.
One of the chits.
Yeah.
And the gatesman.
Yeah.
2 mounted, 2 seated. It used to be on merit. The best you turned your gear out. You're up all night cleaning it.
Yep, they only changed that last year. Middle of last year it was changed.
It's a nonsense. How do you maintain a standard if you allow guys to swap over? There's no incentive to get it there. The I's the highest standard turnout to get the shiniest boots, the blind people. You know, things have changed. 8 o'clock last night, the gates, there was no men out here, so I spoke to a corporal who was in khaki.
Yeah.
Nice, lovely chap. Spoke to him. Oh no, he closed at 8 now. He used to be there till 10 p.m. These guys at 4, the foot reliefs.
Yes,
were out till 10 p.m. I've done it many times. I know what it's like. Christmas Day I've sat here before.
They still have summer hours, which are slightly extended. So instead of going in at 4, the 2 horses boxing were going at 4, but the chits and gates will go in at 6.
Yeah,
so it used to be 10 o'clock at night.
10 p.m. used to be here.
Bloody hell, wow.
I'll tell you how long that was. I was standing on night relief, and Jim Callaghan was Prime Minister.
Oh goodness me!
And
Prior to Thatcher.
Because you have to recognise the vehicles. Only certain cars will come through here. Royal Family, Port St James ambassadors.
Yep.
And those that hold the Ivory Pass, which is the Foreign Secretary, the Home Secretary, the Prime Minister. And Jim Callaghan was in a 3-litre Rover.
Oh wow!
With a little white light on the dash, and he comes along.
Wow.
That's how long ago that was, before Margaret Thatcher.
I was just thinking, we're going to late 70s, aren't we?
Yeah, I was 1976 when I joined the army. I've been reading about household cavalry, how much has changed. A lot has to do with equality.
Oh yes, yeah.
And health and safety.
Yeah.
That's what's changed. I'm old school. If you didn't do it, you get beaten up. You used to get bashed. And that's how it was. They don't do that now.
Yep.
More than pity.
But let me ask you though, what was it like in terms of, okay, so the signs have been changed multiple times in the past 18 months, and then obviously the box has been added on the ground. That wasn't here until last year.
It does say that.
Just the
but
top
people,
bit, yeah.
People were allowed to get closer to them.
And touch the horse,
And I'll
yeah.
tell you what, these ones here, see these here, these ones here.
Ah, the bollers.
You can ride straight out onto the road.
Yeah.
Obviously when they go in side by side, but people were allowed to touch the horse. The only thing I didn't like was when they skip sugar out, because it gets around the bit and the saliva, it gets crystallised.
Big mess all over
When you're
the
back
place.
at barracks, trying to clean it off is a hell of a job. But it's a feeling. And I used to knock people on the heads. I said, get away.
Ah, so people that would take liberties would get told to move back. Yeah?
Grab the chain. take my picture. And I'm going, get off. But because you can't dictate now, you have to call for the police. There's a buzzer on the wall. There used to be a bell. You used to pull a lever.
An actual physical lever, yeah?
There's a black lever there. It's probably closed off. There is a red button. If he presses that, the guard come out. Because in the guard room there are rifles. There are rifles in the guard room.
Yes.
Rifles in the guard room.
Yep. Wow, this
in
is...
the 70s, there was a lot of industrial unrest in the country, so there was a lot of demonstrations along here. So when the demos would come in, they were booked. These used to be closed the gates and we used to go in, protect them, we used to take them. That is true, we used to have to go in then if it was a demo.
Yeah, it still happens, in fact. It'll probably happen tomorrow, to be fair. There's always the pro-Palestine or EU or whatever. It goes on and on.
But it's... but an hour at a time is great for you and the horse enjoy it, but it's not so much interactivity. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
Interaction.
Yeah.
Because he knows that you could go up to the horse. It's all down to health and safety, and obviously terrorism attacks. Because how is this now? How the public cannot interact with it, and they used to be able to do it.
I think it is a sign of the times, isn't it? As you say, they have to be hyper vigilant compared to the 70s and even early 80s. Yes, we had different issues then, IRA, but now
what
there
you just said about I didn't know that about they rotate. I mean, that's a nonsense because we have to do. If you turned out you didn't bother doing your job, you'd be on football leave.
I can't remember whether it was last Easter, give or take roughly, but that was the case because I remember speaking to some of the troopers and they said, yep, it's changed now. It's not about who's best turned out. Everyone's doing chits, gates and box.
These guys got the merit because they were on horseback. So in other words, at 4 o'clock when the gates shut here, they go in and they go to bed.
Yeah, it was something to strive for.
There used to be a licensed bar in there. It was the last one of the British Army.
That's gone.
Long gone. A beer in there, nowhere else the British Army could have a beer on duty, but we could.
Oh.
It was the last part of history.
Wait, but were you in the lifeguards or in the Blues and Royals?
Lifeguards.
Oh, you were I should have guessed from the colour of your polo shirt and the pin. Okay.
I'll just show that.
The viewers on my channel are going to love this, by the way. They're absolutely going to love the fact that you've given us a bit of insight into how it was here. Oh, well, 1 second. Let me show you guys. Your face is not on it. 1 second. Just our conversation. 1 second. It'll be on here this afternoon. It's a YouTube channel that covers horseguards and the Kingsguard. Do you want to take a picture of it so you can
I just show you?
Have yourself on there as well? Or is it?
That's me.
Goodness. Which year? Do you know offhand?
1977.
It's extraordinary to think that you were sitting here on a horse before I was even
doing
born.
what he did.
Good Lord.
That's me. But that's obviously the kit season in the summertime. Yeah.
Utterly extraordinary. How much do you miss it?
I think about it every day of my life. Every day. You can't. It's in the back of your mind. It's the army was the best time of my life.
A lot of the lads do say that.
Yeah, you got a structure in life. You had a purpose in life. Britain was the best of countries than it is today. Anything goes now, and I just think it's terrible.
Massive self-discipline, in fact, to do this as well.
The discipline is a good thing because these men, in theory, are asked to go to war. Because I did both sides, I did the tanks and armoured cars.
Exactly.
These guys now do a rotation. I think you have to do 18 months mounted. Then you're sent to an armoured regiment.
Back down to Bulford. Yep.
But I was never in Bulford because the two regiments were separate in my time. So the lifeguards were in Windsor on armoured cars and common barracks in winter.
Okay.
The Blues and Royals were in Germany, part of the British Army, the Royal and Main Chieftain named
Oh my goodness! Wow. Okay.
So when I joined the armoured side, like the leading this, I then went to Windsor for 18 months, solitary playing, exercise here, everywhere, armoured cars, ambulance strike, fireman strike, working on those. And then,
of course.
Went to Germany for 2 years and I retrained on the main battle tank, Chieftains. Then I came back to London and did more of this. Then I went down to Bovid in Dorset and became a staff corporal. I went to a general. Everything changes, different things.
You've seen and done a lot, haven't you? That's for sure.
You join the household cavalry, you're one regiment. So there's 2 squadrons of these, 2 squadrons of the Blues and Royals, you're in 1 barracks. They've pushed them out of winter after 250 years.
Yeah, all together at Hyde Park. Yeah. And then
Anyway,
armoured side.
nice to talk to you.
Let me show you this 1 second before I shake your hand.
This is on YouTube.
Just so that you know where you're going to be in a good way. It's a brilliant conversation. Come on. It'll be on there this afternoon.
Can I just take a picture?
Of course you can. Yeah, go ahead.
Just so I know where to have a look.
It's a YouTube channel that is exclusively devoted to horseguards here and the King's Lifeguard. It's fascinating, man. As you said, it's.
I just got a little bit annoyed because you need to have the public interactive. Because if you want to recruit new soldiers in the future, you need to kind of be more interactive.
There's some of the guys that were in Afghanistan and so on, and even Iraq, have said to me before that yes, things in different ways have changed. So I get it. I've heard this before. This is not the first time.
I do know after the guy was stabbed to death at Westminster terrorist attack. He should never have not been armed, and it was only Theresa May's bodyguards that shot that guy dead. So then was the police that were around Parliament that were totally ineffective.
Yeah.
Things have changed. You're right, there are more demonstrations about things. But we were always close gates, in, gone.
Yeah. They still do that typically on the pro-Palestine process. I think there's even one tomorrow coming along Whitehall,
really?
And they always take them in pretty fast. Gates are shut. That's it. It's done. Yeah.
I mean, this is the first time I've been to London for a long time. In fact, yesterday was the first time I've been on a train for 10 years.
So you've noticed how bad things have gotten then, yeah? Let's
We've
be
had
honest.
a lovely time, but things. I'm just this today. It's a shame how much when I was in. But I wanted a lady to see it.
But you've got to get a you've got to be in the video next to the sign with the trooper. Come on, I mean,
You want me there?
If you're happy to do so, why not? Come on, you were here all this time ago. What are we talking?
That'd be
77. That was 40 odd years ago. You don't look old enough. No offence. I mean, that's actually a compliment.
I'm 68.
You're joking. No, he's not. Come on, he's not really 68.
I'm nearly 79.
Good Lord. I guess it's the army discipline.
My daughter's nearly 50.
Wow. Look at this, folks. Retired, long-serving lifeguard next to his contemporary colleague in the Blues and Royals. What a top man. Brilliant. Thank you for stopping to talk to me. I'm so glad that I had a little word with you, otherwise you wouldn't have known that I stopped to have a chat.
Good to catch you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
It was a real pleasant experience, and I hope you like the way the video turns out today. You were the star of it. You too.
Nice to talk to you.
Pleasure. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye. Oh wow, folks! Just when we're thinking as to ourselves, it can't get any more interesting. We have the trooper this morning. In fact, NCO saying a happy, jolly good morning, and then what a gent, eh? I can completely get his frustration. Let's just say that he and I are not a million miles apart in certain views, and also our experiences of growing up in London and in the UK in the past 20 plus years. So I get it, I do get it. There is an aspect of frustration. This is not the first time I've heard that. I do speak to soldiers that were serving before, and a lot of you will remember from the TikTok lives how many ex-lifeguards and Blues and Royals, and indeed, in fact, some currently serving lifeguards and Blues and Royals came and talked to us and answered questions and so on the lives. That was utterly extraordinary and delightful. Massive respect to you, sir, for stopping to talk to me. Now, I know that there was in the background, trying to get in slowly and carefully. The troop at the other end is probably like, why are you filming me for like an hour without moving? But obviously I couldn't move because we were having the conversation. I did, Handmaid's Tale. I did notice the fashion shoot going on in the background with the lovely lady who I think was from the US at the other end. Definite Handmaid's Tale vibe with the hat. Uh-oh. 1 second, folks. Uh-oh. So my sort of indecision about, hey, which is the best end to film at, as usual, resolved itself. Just when I'm sort of, dithering somewhat, every time we have an interesting moment, someone turns up to talk to us or to distract us, or occasionally, although it's not a positive in my mind, to bother the guard around the archway. Exceedingly quiet in the yard this morning, folks, I must say, which for us is a negative, but I dare say the troopers are absolutely over the moon about it. But for those of you that didn't complete, I hope the audio was captured with my chat with the former lifeguard. But his main point, just to reiterate, in case it didn't come across clear and in case the audio wasn't picked up, was that before, in his day, as he mentioned, back in the late 70s, he was here, as you saw in the picture, on his horse. Before, and indeed up until last year, so it went on for an awful long time, the troopers would go into the boxes based on presentation. The two best turned out troopers of the day would be the first into the boxes. Our first two, boxmen, boxwomen, whatever. But that will change. That's why we now have the rotation. Chits, gates, box. Okay. Now, the troopers are all obviously still magnificently turned out, but his point, rightly so, I've heard it before, was that the troopers that really wanted the boxes would be up at 4 in the morning to start on their kit for that day, to hopefully win the right to sit on the King's horse in the boxes. Okay, it is the senior role to be here at the front on the horse, not to disparage chitsmen and gatesmen, but that's just the way it's always been. The senior role, as it were, is here at the front. If senior is the wrong word, then accept my apologies, but you know what I'm trying to say. That actually, you know what I'm trying. It was the more prestigious post. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. Not senior, more prestigious, because the guards are all equal. So the more prestigious role was sitting on the horse. Now, meanwhile, I hadn't noticed it, we have had the gatesman leaving his post to head to the end of the tunnel. I thought I'd quickly follow. Well, I haven't really followed him, he was already here. I thought I'd quickly come along just because of the fact that the light, I really hope he doesn't turn and leave in the moment it takes me to get around to the front. Nope, he's still here. Fantastic, we'd just call that in time. Beautiful, magnificent light, actually. Also, not just here at the back, but also on the trooper himself, who has got an absolutely spectacular poker face despite these tourists flooding around him. I'm as far back as I can get at this point because there's a post with a chain attached to it. Oh, chappie's saying quick, he's right, because at any moment the guard could vanish. So good to see that this has started again. I said by this, I mean troopers actually taking some time at the end of the tunnel. It's okay. Thanks. But the lights, everybody. Plus we can hear the drums of the household division. Oh, the little man over there. Where did the guard go? His dad was like, I'm sorry. He was so patient. You see the little kid, guys? He was super patient. The look on that lady's face as well when he left. She just got the picture, or the person that was taking the picture just got it before the guard was off. Love that. Brilliant. In fact, quite a lovely thing to see that was. Very wholesome. I don't think, bless him, the guard saw the little man. Yeah, I don't think he did. Which was really interesting. Really interesting. 1 second. Oh, trying to get back without bashing into anyone, guys, which is easier said than done. Oh, I've got somebody massively eyeballing me, actually, one of the tourists. Wait, let me see if he's got an earpiece. No, there's not an earpiece. Let's keep people like that, though. That guy. Weird. Okay, so I'm happy to finish up at the other end. So I'll be here for a few minutes, 5 minutes, and then back to finish in front of the gent trooper at the other end. Sorry, I'm yattering. Oh. She seems particularly interested. Now I wonder whether or not she attempted to... Oh man, it was a long holiday. How are you? Everything's good. What about you?
Yeah, everything.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I noticed actually...
Have you been on holiday?
Have I?
You?
Yeah. I was travelling, etc. I had so much to deal with, etc. over the Christmas holiday and then New Year. So I thought, you know what? Take time, get it all dealt with, come back, you know, when things are clear and ready to go. It's been quite an interesting morning so far. But numbers cooled down a little bit in the past 2 weeks. How's it been?
Yeah.
Much less, yeah?
Much
than before?
less.
Okay.
It's very quiet.
This is good. I like that because it was getting a little bit ridiculous now. That said, we both know it's not going to last. Okay, folks, these two gents are edging. Look, they're edging one another. Edging and egging one another. Hey, who's going to get closer? Even the horse is a little bit nervous at this point. So, We will finish at the other end, as I said. Not the video, but finish the shift. The shift of these troopers will be finished up at this end. Straight in the box. Oops. Her bag says 2 on it, T-O-U-S. So I'm guessing that, oh wait, so does her mum's bag. They've got identical bags. So I'm going to guess. In fact, they're quite stylish, so they're probably almost certainly not British. Oh, controversial. Probably French. Horse is mega chill, actually, this morning. Super chill. Hasn't been flustered for even a moment, which I see as a huge positive. Oh. Shiny jacket, man. They're all absolutely loving it, aren't they? The builder's going to walk through the box then, but no. Get on. So now we have actually captured, as I was hoping, my goal, one instance at either end of the trooper telling people to vacate the box. Now, I haven't been here, obviously, for a couple of weeks, so I've got no clue at all how consistent things have been, okay? Or how inconsistent things have been. I've got no clue. So the only way we're going to see how consistent or otherwise they are is by being here in the next couple of weeks and watching how we are in the new year. Because I do think that there would have been a chat during the break at Hyde Park about consistency. I say I think. I don't know. I think, folks. I'm trying to be coy. And everybody said to me that there was. But if what we've seen this morning is any indication of the way things are going to go, that has got to be a huge positive, I would say. Okay, who's next? In the box? She took a step briefly and availed herself of getting in trouble. Who's next? Oh, yep, straight in. Oh. Espanol.
Brasileiras.
Ah, Portuguese. Ah, okay. Okay, so she wasn't sure what the soldier was saying.
Yes.
Oops. Okay, so I mean that was quite an interesting one, folks. The girl meant no harm, as you can see. She generally wasn't aware of what she was being asked to do by the soldier. The soldier can't, I'm assuming. Oh. This girl, I love very interesting characters this morning. I'm assuming the trooper can't speak Portuguese. Here's the mum. Who obviously is not going to go in the box after what just happened to her daughter. Here we go. This trooper's quiet, easy morning has ended abruptly, hasn't it? It was going so well. And then all of a sudden, it's not going so well. Anyway, the good news is in 3 minutes, he will be in the warm with a cup of tea, dismounted from his horse. We're going to move around a teeny bit, guys, and get to the other side of the horse because I did mention that I intend to stay at this end for this morning's changeover. First main hourly changeover. The previous one was the regimental handover. Next up is the hourly changeover. Hold it up a little bit higher, guys, because it's quite busy here at this end. We'll move along in a minute. I says there's a new ninja bro who is filming in a very interesting way, quite like an artistic way actually, with a pole that he's extending in front of himself. I'm not sure if he's doing a selfie presentation to camera, but I like his filming style, whatever he's doing it for. There's still reasonable numbers here. I would say along the front here, maybe 100 people, give or take. But wow, I mean, what a quiet shift he started off with. Here we go. He's not going to tell them because they're just about over. There's no point in wasting his voice when it's so minor a transgression. But goodness, started off so quietly and peacefully, but as usual, it didn't last. Any minute we should be hearing the bell, I would have thought. Yeah, the officers are coming out to start to tell everybody to move. Now, horsey-wise, I did say I wasn't going to bother today and leave it all to you guys, but bong, there it is. Let's have a quick look. Good to ID this one just before he goes back in again. And the number is... Okay, 1 second, let's have a quick look. This is the new bro I was talking about. Oh goodness. Sorry folks, I got distracted. I know, horse is looking at me, he's like, you know what, why are you even looking? Bro, what are you doing? What is this new guy doing? I love his enthusiasm, but wow, he's going to get told off. Oh. Someone has got verbal directions on her phone. Like, return to wherever. Sorry, anyway guys, sorry, Monty. Yeah, I was really thinking to myself, you know what, is it Indiana or is it Monty? That's why I didn't want to actually say anything during the video. But yeah, glorious Montgomery himself. Folks. No, he's been so chill this morning. Top work by that trooper, absolutely sterling to be honest. Oh, the other horse briefly had a little moment there. Oh, they're going to crash into one another. Hold on, what's going on there? Bit of a horsey logjam. Right. Oh, this is a difficult one, folks. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do... I'm trying to think, second part or extend this. If I do a second part, this video is going to be up super late today. No, I'm going to make this video a little bit longer instead of doing a completely separate full video because tomorrow's Saturday anyway. So that's going to be the best thing to do. Reason being, yes, we've got this beautiful horse here, who, in fact, I want to ID. 1 second. I don't recognise this horse.
Oh, you can go in there. Let's go.
Very enthusiastic, sorry, American tourist who just realised she is allowed to go into the yard. He's having a little meeting behind. Right, let's see if we can ID this beauty. I do not recognise this horse. I'm going to be very surprised if this is a regular. Wait, obviously the number's a bit mush, isn't it? Wait. Vise. Oh, hold on. Yeah, Vise. V-Y-S-E. Vise is this one. Well, I have to put it this way, I'm about 90% certain. I mean, the hoof number is a little teeny bit mushy, but that would be my guess. The thing is, I've heard that name before, but I'm not sure if we've actually had Vise in a video. Anyone remember? Anyway, so decision's made. We will split. Oh, Chelsea pensioner. We will split roughly our time between this end, and I'll also try and ID the other horse that Tashman is on the other end. I think we'll head to the other end just because this end, people are not wanting to get up close. Yeah, that's the plan. Plus, we know from having seen him here previously that Tashman is absolutely ruthless in terms of dealing with tourists that get into the box or get in his way generally. So that's a huge positive. Now, I don't know if that means anyone's actually even going to come along to this end because it's equally quiet. Now, notice, in fact, that his horse is a very, very unusual looking horse. Of course, it's like, what do you mean? How am I unusual? You can't discriminate and say that I'm different. Which horse is this? Now, interestingly, from the hoof, wait, if I zoom in, they're bringing out some horses we haven't seen for ages, potentially ever. Wait. Okay, this horse has got a very interesting hoof number. Wait, what? Okay, now I'm super confused, folks. According to the list, let me just zoom in. Is it something to do with seasonal colouring, folks, with the horse? Because this horse is a very different colour to the other horse. But if it's seasonal colouring, why would one horse be so differently coloured to the other one anyway? Because according to the list, this is Northumberland. I can't even speak. This is Northumberland. But I don't remember Northumberland being this very chocolatey, I don't know, almost reddish. In fact, his forelock is a sort of chocolatey red colour. And it's not my sunglasses either. That's the actual colour. So what am I missing? The questions. Fill in the blanks. Horse is desperate, dying to tell me himself and break it down, but unfortunately his English is not at the advanced level yet. So why would Northumberland, assuming this is the same horse, and I'm pretty sure I don't recall Northumberland being retired to the Horse Trust, so the number would not have been recycled. If it is, this is a new horse we've never seen before. But let's assume it is Northumberland, then why would he suddenly look so markedly different? How's that for a question, ladies and gents? Right, let's move back a teeny weeny bit and see who's going to possibly roll up. Maybe no one. I think the burst that we had about 15 minutes ago was the palace burst. In fact, a minor palace burst. But even if that, in fact, is the end of the flow this morning, my word, what a glorious morning it's been to return. In fact, it's a shame actually the Chelsea pension was off so quick. It would have been great to speak to him. One massive group have just arrived and taken over the guard shop in the yard. They're not yet crowding around the archway, but it's only a matter of time. I just would like, ideally, to see what's going to happen if anyone steps into the box. At either end, to be honest. Even if I'm not filming at the other end, I'll still be able to hear it if somebody gets shouted at. Second. Yard is looking kind of buoyantish, I would say. Oh yeah, you're right. Kind of buoyant. I was tempted to ask the trooper, but he's very busy heading back and forwards to the two boxes to lock them up. Plus it is pretty chilly to be out and about. Right, here we are on this side. Why? I don't know why, actually, to be quite honest with you. Probably because there are more people than one would normally expect when the front is so quiet. I don't think they can decide what they want to do though, to be honest. Look. I mean, what can you say? The person in the guard shop can no way see the 50 hands that are all over the guard shop merchandise, which is a little bit, I guess, a little bit unfortunate, but anyway, now you can see, if I'm this side of Northumberland, assuming that's correct, but his colouring is quite different to before. But then if a horse is... And I know the coats do change colour, folks, during the year. But then why would one change from a very dark, almost black, to a kind of chocolatey brown, but then not the other one? I don't know, is it a breed thing? Is it a genetic thing? I mean, help me understand the question, because I'm a bit dense when it comes to... I would understand if all of the horses change colour at X, point of the year, but if one does and the other one doesn't, like why? It's just curious. See, right. I think, instinctively, I think the trooper thinks the same thing. That people have decided that's enough. And if we don't get some lucky punters soon, folks, that'll be it. Time's up. Okay, so of the 4 troopers, we've now captured 3 on camera enforcing the box quite rigidly. That's lucky. Wasn't expecting that, but there we go. The 2 chaps didn't even recognise that there was a box on the floor. The thing now is either Tashman and see if the box is enforced. I think a little bit, yeah. I've got that spidey sense that somebody's going to kick off in the archers. Just the way that everyone is interacting, etc. In front of the archway in the yard. They've just finished the shopping. Basically just like completely sold out the guard shop. At least I can see through the gate, folks, from this spot. And the other thing to remember is that tomorrow, Saturday, there is a very large planned protest. There'll be road closures in place, and part of that protest is going to affect Whitehall. I don't yet know what time. I'll try and find that out this evening before deciding what to do, if anything, about tomorrow. There's still quite an ebb and flow actually through the gate of people coming along Whitehall, but for some reason they are completely ignoring the horses at this point. As you can see, look, strolling past. Luggage included. Lots of luggage included. Okay. Just thinking, we've got roughly 3 minutes until the bell. Now, given that the previous gatesman decided that he was going to go, I say the previous. They haven't, sorry folks, completely forgot about that. They haven't changed over the foot guards. The gatesman and chitsmen are the same gatesman and chitsmen that were here before they changed the horses. So we're back to the 2-hour shift, etc. Basically, they get super cold again. So they're doing it on the 2-hourly. That's actually a good thing because it means that the chap we saw before, the current gatesman, who went to the end of the tunnel and was there static for some time, might well do the same thing again. It's a Frenchy school group that just turned up. They actually look fascinated by all of this. The thing I'm dithering about is which side. I think instinctively this side, because at some point very soon, ladies were like, where's the guard gone? Look. At some point soon, this chap, when the bell tolls, is going to leave. The new dude on the right, his enthusiasm is actually admirable, but if he keeps sticking that pole so close, he's going to get in trouble. I honestly thought then for a second he might have headed into the archway himself. tons of people at the other side as well. I actually think he's more making a travel vlog, this chap, than a YouTuber. It's a very like odd pose. It almost looks like he's about to fire a bow and arrow, doesn't it? Move back a few into the middle, because that way, when the bell tolls, we have no chance of being in the way of the guard. How odd though, the yard is this populated, but the front is pretty much close to deserted. Very curious. But I think we've only got 2 minutes. Wait, 1 or 2 minutes? 1 second. Yeah, I mean 1 minute according to my phone. Until he's due to move. How thoroughly peculiar, eh? Look at the number of people. We're all kind of wandering around. I say we, the people that are filming here this morning, a little aimlessly, because it's one of those situations whereby everything is just peculiar. Okay, so this is the moment that the trooper needs to leave his position, and the problem is how many people are here. Move myself back. They seem, though, the tourist that is, to be vacating his immediate vicinity. Okay. Goodness me, the look. Vacating his vicinity pretty speedily. It's okay, thank you. I think our closing shot in today's video, folks, is going to be this trooper checking on his colleague. I'm sure all the noises in the yard, but it is pretty noisy. Oops. Oopsie doopsie. There we are. Okay, so there's something wrong with the bit, it would appear. Horse's tongue is flapping somewhat. As I said before, when the trooper came out and checked on his colleague at the other end, it's a wonderful thing to see how efficiently they work together. Oh, little tickling of the horse's tongue. How efficiently they work together to make sure everything here runs most of the time like clockwork. So back, so I'm firmly out of the way. And that, folks, is our closing shot. I guess it's a lot more difficult to film when you've got one of those kind of little like GoPro-y type things, because unless you have it pretty close to your face on a pole, you can't actually see what on earth you've got in frame. So yeah, that, folks, is that today. Oh, ta-da! Decide which way to pose. Left or right? I can't actually even see who's taking the pictures. It's an actual fashion show. Ta-da! Done. Speaking of which, so am I. Ladies and gents, what a curious morning it's been. A fun one. No doubt about that. A very, very, very fun, optimistic and buoyant first morning back. So from myself, oh my god, flip, there is a massive amount of people coming, but they're all little kids, so we'll ignore. For myself, guys, I'm out of here. But, you know what I'm going to say. Back soon, folks. Bye for now.